Hello viewers, Marianne from Revealing Light Tarot. You'll notice I've changed for this reading my setup. I've actually got a new camera, which they tell me is crystal clear. So I wanted to actually focus in on the cards and use this as a bit of a test run to see where I need to modify, etc. with this new camera. I want to look at the new moon in Aquarius. We've got Aquarius squaring Uranus. You know, along with the what we've seen so far in January, some of us have actually profited, or not profited, but benefited from these astrological patterns. Others have had a run of what they would possibly call bad luck. However, the new moon in Aquarius offers with all new moons, offers us a chance to begin again. New moons are always about new beginnings and a fresh set of conditions as we go forward into the month. Now, some would say, looking at this new moon in Aquarius, that we're in for, it occurs on the 24th of January, we're in for a bit of a tough time. Uranus squaring Uranus can indicate that, of course, you know, we've got the unpredictable, we've got possible instability, and you know, we might be called upon to think about quick solutions and to bring forward common sense, practical ways of addressing problems that might arise. I'm a bit more optimistic. With the new moon in Aquarius, I go to the essential Aquarian traits. We know that our Aquarian friends are progressive, they're original, they're independent, and above all, they're humanitarians. So I feel with this new moon, we're going to be bringing forward, this is my intuitive view of it, not an astrological view. I'm not an astrologer, merely a student of astrology. But my optimistic view of this new moon in Aquarius is that we are, while we might get a look at chaotic conditions, a look at instability, perhaps things coming out of left field, particularly in relation to world events and what is going on in the US at the moment with the impeachment of the US president. While we might get a look at this instability, this, you know, what is likely to come forward around the conditions of that impeachment, this gaslighting, outright lying, while we are going to get a good look, and also not just in the US, in other countries, I think we're getting pretty much a good look at how politics operates. We're actually being called upon to wake up, to be more aware, and this is all in line with coming back to choosing our leaders very wisely, not just choosing them because of along a particular party line, but actually looking at the quality of our leadership. But here again, as I say, we're moving into this new moon in Aquarius. We're moving into Aquarius season, as I like to call it. And I feel that we are going to see a greater focus on humanitarianism, a greater focus on being independent from the rest. So how will this new moon affect you? This new moon in Aquarius is the question. Let's have a look via the tarot. So this is a tarot reading. As I said, I'm not an astrologer, but I do take a keen interest in astrology. So let's have a look at how this new moon might affect you at the personal, at the individual level, and of course we'll see indications of how it might affect the collective as well as we go along. Okay, so let me just center myself. How will the new moon in Aquarius affect us, impact us? What are the conditions that we're likely to see? What are the learnings that are likely to come forward? And importantly, how can we benefit from this new moon in Aquarius? What are we likely to see? What are the conditions that are likely to be brought forward with this new moon in Aquarius? All right, let's have a look. Okay, so straight up I have the Six of Swords, which is in the tarot it's a healing. It's actually a healing card. And this is indicating that we're moving away from troubled conditions, that in some way, even if it is slowly, we have started this forward movement away from troubled waters toward a new destination. I'm using the Celtic Cross spread. What is challenging this moving away, this new, relocation, new starts, is that we actually have to rebuild our foundations with this Three of Coins. I'm reminded of the burning of Notre Dame, the cathedral in France. I don't think they could hold their usual Christmas celebration or mass there. This is around not getting ahead of ourselves too quickly. There is a lot of work to be done. Unfortunately, when I read these cards as well, I see this sometimes comes forward around my dark money in politics, and how politicians are funded, how the political system is set up with lobbyists, with campaign donations from big business in return for a specific agenda. It's not a quick moving that we're seeing here in this Six of Swords, I don't think, because the challenge is quite we've got huge challenges to try and overhaul a system to make it more transparent. Okay, so the foundation of the reading, though, is the King of Swords. And this king comes forward. This is around investigation. This is around, bringing forward objectivity. As I often say, bringing forward this objective thinking to the table so that we can wade through and clear the illusions, delusions, the smoke screens, the kinds of quick seductions that we see, and this is personally as well, human nature. We all have agendas, don't we? But it is about seeing very clearly the agenda in front of you and making very clear, objective decisions about how you're going to go forward and how much truth you're going to accept and how much truth you want brought forward. So it wouldn't surprise me that we see this questioning of truth around this new moon, whether this is in the personal or the collective, a demand for truth. One of the ways in the US that this impeachment is going to be fought out is through trying to obscure the truth, trying to bring forward some other alternative reality. Now, will that work? This is the pivotal moment, I feel, that we're moving into, or that we're already in January. What are you going to believe? Okay, so we've got the Three of Wands in the past. And again, this is around stretching ourselves and waiting for our ship to come in too. There's always a time limit involved with this card, or that's the way that I read it. And this is in the past position. I feel that we've actually manifested these situations that we're currently seeing, or that will come forward on January the 24th. The individual is connected to the collective. Often what is occurring in the collective is mirrored within our individual lives. So some of these conditions that are coming forward on the world stage, and particularly with our leadership and how we fit in, what is our place, what is our role as the individual. Some of these more deeper philosophical truths are coming forward for us, and we do have to decide, but it's a wonderful decision to make. How are we going to live our lives in the future? And we've got the opportunity now to bring forward this objectivity, this strategy, the planning, the careful planning that doesn't rely on a quick fix from someone that perhaps is a bit reflective of their agenda and not enough consideration of your own. Using your own voice is really important at this time. What's crowning this reading is the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups comes forward when there is a loss and a turning away from what is no longer serving you. So I feel to a large degree what we're seeing now, particularly when it's paired with this Six of Swords, for some of us, we're actually going to be turning our back on what is no longer relevant to us, what we don't want in our lives. We're making decisions about what we want and what and who we want in our lives. And so consequently, think of it like a spring clean. We're actually going to be given the opportunity to cut away those things that we don't want in our lives going forward. So, there's always an element of chaos when that occurs. And I feel this is what's playing out on the world stage at the moment, that we're being given an opportunity to see what is no longer serving us. And we've got the Judgment card in the near future. This is an inevitable ending of certain conditions that are no longer serving us in our lives. And I feel that this is just as true for the individual as it is for the collective. The Judgment card. There's also going to be judgment made around people's actions. And again, this could be where the volatility might come in. So keep a clear head, stand your ground, bring forward your objective clarity and truth, and that's the best way to address any of these conditions that we might encounter in this new moon period. We have the Page of Swords, very much an earth sign associated with Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. We have the Page of Pentacles can often bring forward some kind of news. And so around this new moon period, you might have some news coming in, could be even from the past, but it could bring forward an opportunity for some kind of movement forward in your life. So watch for that. There could be out of the blue news coming forward to you. Now, I've got the Queen of Cups in the environment around the here and now. This is one of nurturing and firmness, but it's also one of revelations. And so the astrologers who are predicting the new moon in Aquarius as being, could be potentially a volatile time, that could be because we're getting these revelations. Some news could come forward, which takes us a bit by surprise. So let's have a look at what's in the fear and the hope position. We've got the Hierophant card. So I go to our governments. I feel that there is going to be some kind of news coming forward. The Hierophant always comes forward around institutions, whether that be governments, government departments, the church even can be reflected in this Hierophant card. The hopes and the fears, we're putting our faith in those that we've elected. We're putting our faith in those that lead us. Are they going to let us down? That is the fear. Are we going to, the world as we know it is a changing place, and we're looking to others to bring forward that stability, when in actual fact, the stability is within ourselves, because another aspect of the Hierophant card is faith, keeping the faith in yourself. So this is a period of change. It will be reflected in our world conditions, in our governments, in what is going on in the world today. However, the other aspect of this card is to have faith in the ultimate higher source, which is Spirit, God, Buddha, whatever your religion is, or when I won't say religion, I'll say belief, wherever you put your faith, and including your faith in yourself. This card is calling for you to have hope that things are playing out as they're supposed to play out. I don't recall a more prophetic, a more impactful time in the world as what we're seeing right now across many many levels, from leadership, big money in politics, a lack of transparency, but also the conditions around climate change and the rejection of climate change and the advance of I guess those that would seek to take and not replenish. I've never seen such a volatile set of conditions as what I'm seeing now. The outcome is walking a tightrope. So, as I said, we're going to be juggling around this new moon period with the conditions that it will bring forward. But there's opportunities. Are you going to juggle, or are you going to walk? Because of that Six of Swords, meaning movement forward. Are you going to take the opportunity to move forward, making those choices around playing to our own strengths, which is taking back control? Okay. So the Two of Coins, of course, is clarified. I'm really pleased to see the Queen of Swords there, clarified by the Queen of Swords, bringing forward this objective truth. And isn't she a warrior? She brings forward stability. Queens are all about restoring stability. So here is the opportunity in the current conditions, and that is that we have an opportunity to restore our systems, hold governments more more to account, but also to stand strong. I've got the Queen and the King of Swords in this reading. Stand strong with your own truth and have faith in yourself, because we've got this high level of anxiety here, where we're aware of the current conditions. They are unsettling us, but this reading is calling upon you to bring forward that objectivity, to bring forward your own truth. But it's more than bringing forward your own truth. It is understanding that we all carry that sword of truth. We all carry that armor and that weapon, because it is our truth that we are empowered and able to bring forward. No matter what, we can do it. Okay, so we have at the base of the pack the Four of Coins. There is a degree of insecurity around at this time, and that is because, and I talked about instability, chaotic conditions, people bringing forward perhaps illusions, delusions. The challenge is to see what is the truth and to decide for yourself. But this is all before. There's a level of insecurity, including those that would seek to hold on to power. This is all about, I think the current astrological conditions are in keeping with this reading, insofar as this is all about breaking down the old and beginning with the new. And we do have that. We have those that are insecure with this Four of Pentacles, trying to hold on to their power. We've got the new starts, we're beginning again, and we've got the ending of the old. And so this is why you're likely to see those chaotic conditions. And I talked about opportunities in this new moon. The opportunity is to stand very, very strongly in your own truth. So I'm going to leave that there. I hope that the camera was clear. I particularly like the focus on the cards. I won't always read like this, but today, for this new moon in Aquarius reading, I actually thought I would go back to where I started from, which was reading with a huge focus on the cards. But I'll do both. I'll mix it up and do both. I hope you enjoyed that reading. The new moon in Aquarius, January the 24th. Certainly a challenging time, but an abundant time as well, because we have so many opportunities to focus in on our own strengths and bring forward our own truth and to decide ourselves. The decision is ultimately always lies within ourselves. We are very powerful, very powerful beings. All right, thank you so much for tuning in.